What's up, fellow Gators? I just wanted to get on here again. I haven't made a video in a while, and I apologize for that. Been a lot going on in Gator country out there. A lot of news breaking. Picked up some more coaches. A lot of off-field guys. The army of the nerds, basically. A lot of analytical, a lot of sports, nutrition guys. Personnel management, team management guys. So Napier is building a serious army of dudes, and everything he's building is going to be so much bigger than anything Mullen had as far as his staff. We're going to look a lot like Alabama. I'm super excited about that. We got Katie Turner from Georgia. She's incredible, big time contributor to that recruiting class they've had there the last few years. We just picked up a massive commitment, 4-star blue chip running back, ETN, at a high school in Louisiana. I called that about a month ago that we were going to land him. Still hoping we can get Citizen on board from Louisiana. Kid's a stud. That'd be 2 elite running backs. Recruiting services, ESPN and Rivals have him super high on the board, top 200 player. 247 Sports and On3 have him a little lower. I think he's somewhere in the middle. So I definitely think he's a 4-star, low 4-star blue chip running back, and I think he warrants that ranking. So now our class went from 50th to 40th. We're starting to move up. I think when this thing's all said and done, we're sitting at 11 commitments right now. We'll probably end up with about 20. And I think this class is going to end up being a top 15 class, which is insane. That is an incredible recruiting and transition class, starting out with a week left until the early signing period. A lot of good prospects on the board. Wide receiver, Caleb Douglas from Texas. Kid is a playmaker, long lean, long strides. Really good looking prospect, high level 3-star guy. You've got Perkins, Harold Perkins, the linebacker. He's coming in on a visit. Kamari's going to be there recruiting him. You've got Matthews. We've got several top 100 guys left on the board. If he pulls off those guys and lands those, that could be up to 6 top 100 prospects in a transition class. To put that into perspective, that's better than anything that Zook, Urban Meyer, Muschamp, or McElwain ever did. All those guys had really good transition classes, including Mullen, even though his was kind of... he actually had more guys contribute and more talent in that class than he did in his bump class and classes after that. So that's pretty sad to say. That tells me a lot of those guys were only committed because of McElwain, and that's really why Mullen just kind of mooched off of McElwain's guys that he already had committed, like Damian Pierce, Kyle Pitts. And then we lost some guys that McElwain had before that, like Matt Corral, Jamar Chase. So really, Mullen's recruiting has been trashed from the transition class all the way through now. So what Napier is doing, a lot of these guys weren't even Mullen commits. These guys were pulled from he took a few guys that were with Mullen, but most of these guys are just Napier's picks. He cleaned house with this class. Some of these guys decommitted and then recommitted, like Shamar James. That just shows you how good and how successful Napier is on the trail. He's building a massive army of a staff. This staff's gonna be bigger than anything Mullen ever had, guys. I'm talking about the size of what Alabama has plus some. The budget the administration gave Napier is gonna be huge. $5 million for off-field assistants. These guys are getting paid, bro. They are getting paid. On-field staff, almost done. I'm trying to think. We just added tight end coach William Pegler. Big time guy, had one of the award-winning tight ends for the year. Coming over, got some good experience. Comes from Michigan State, so I think that's a good pickup. Pretty good recruiter. Let's see. So right now, I think we're waiting on Carl Scott and Sale from the Giants. We talked about him a lot. That's pretty much a done deal, both of those guys. I think that's pretty much it. I think we get those 2 guys, and our on-field staff is just about complete. There might be one other spot open. I'm not sure. I'd have to check into that. I don't think we're going to get any more commitments. Maybe Caleb Douglas, the wide receiver, before National Signing Day in February. But I think we're going to have a huge splash on that day, get a ton of commitments. You're going to see the Gators name in ESPN and on the news because we're going to have so many prospects signed because our class is still small. I mean, we only have 11 guys. So we're going to have a lot of guys signing on this next signing period. I think we're still looking out for a few transfers or some wide receivers in the portal that we're targeting that are being followed by Napier on Twitter. He's taken a lot of big bodies, trying to build depth on the offensive line. You know, he got Waits from Louisiana, from his prior school where Napier was at, and then Cameron Williams, the high school prospect. I don't think he's looking for elite talent right now in this transition class on the O-line and D-line. He's just trying to stack some bodies. If he can get talent, great. He got another transfer, like I said, from Louisiana. Kid's 6'8", 325 pounds. So, again, he's trying to build those trenches up. We are massively weak on depth there and weak on talent. So, more bodies the better because somebody's going to step up and produce and get developed out of that group. So that's what the vision's coming together. Again, I think I'm starting to see it now. Build depth, bodies on the trenches. He's trying to land some elite, explosive playmakers at wide receiver and running back with ETN, Douglas, and a couple other guys out there that we're still going to land. There's a couple wide receivers we're still after. Still think we might take a transfer portal guy there because we need a slot guy so bad. You got Copeland's gone. Kadarius Toney's gone. We need somebody to step up. We don't have a speedy, shifty guy right now. I don't even know if there's one on the roster. If there is, I think the other shocker is going to be next season. There's going to be a lot of guys playing that should have been on the field that never played. DeMarcus Bowman could be that guy. Might not be a slot receiver. He's a running back. But I'm just talking about those type of playmakers. We don't have anybody that we've seen yet. So I think he's going to address that through the portal. I really do. I think he's going to land somebody there. We need somebody like 5'11", 5'10", 178, 180 that can just burn them with some wiggle on the feet. So, yeah, I think that's coming. I'm trying to think. So, yeah, he's just trying to get some playmakers, land some elite talent in the defense. Big focus on the defense in this class. Defense has been very weak for us the last few years. Mullins always had the offense pretty good, pretty humming. When he's had a quarterback, Emory Jones is not a quarterback. That's another story. He's still on the roster. It's weird. I don't know what he's doing. He's not going to play quarterback, okay? Anthony Richardson's the starter next year. And you got the transfer guy from Ohio State coming in. So you got him, Miller, that's right, Jack Miller. So he's going to push him, compete with him. It's Anthony's job to lose. You know, Jack Miller is a backup option. He's not starting. He's not competing. He's not the next Joe Burrow. So go ahead and get that out of your head. He was brought in for depth only and an insurance policy on Richardson. Emory Jones, I actually think he's going to move to wide receiver, I think. I don't see any other place for him to go. So I think he's going to get his degree from UF. He's a smart kid, good kid. I really like Emory as a person. I think he's done a good job representing the university and dealing with a lot of adversity. I mean, let's face it. Not everybody is a first-round draft pick and elite stud in college. I can't stand the way people dog these kids and these quarterbacks, and I get aggravated too at the coaches. Though it's the coach's fault. You don't develop the guy, or if he doesn't have the skill set, put someone else in. Switch positions, do something. Don't let the kid just sit out there and get burnt on social media nowadays. And, the kids are already in their feelings a lot. I get it. I was raised differently than that. Not everybody gets a trophy. Not everybody's number one. But you got to know when to pull the plug on somebody and let them deal with it. Let the cards fall where they may. So Emory's still there, not transferring. We know we lost Diabate. He's out. Bogle's gone to Michigan State. So we've lost. That's what I said about the defense. We're hurting there. I actually think Diabate leaving is a plus. Kid could not tackle to save his life and can't gain weight. Maybe he needs to get off that Muslim diet he's on, not eating any pork. Pork will put some weight on you. So that could be the issue. The other thing is you've got guys coming in that are more talented than him at linebacker like Shamar James. So, again, I think we're good there. No worries. So we've had some guys transfer out. The one that hurts the most, the offensive line. Lost a guy there. true freshman, but a guy that was supposed to contribute at some point. So he's gone. Trying to think anybody else. Copeland's gone, going to Maryland with Loxley. I think we're gonna miss Copeland. I really do. I couldn't stand. He was a diva. He's from my hometown of Pensacola. I actually live just outside of it, but I've watched the kid play. Really cool guy. I mean, honestly, personality's cool. I don't know him personally, but know a lot of people around here that have known him, and they say he's a really good dude. Just one of those diva guys. A lot of drama. Likes to stir the pot on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. You know, he likes to post stuff that's crazy. He went to Maryland. I think what's going to happen, you know, you see these guys transfer from Florida, and it always seems like they end up flourishing and putting up like gaudy stats, and it makes us all sick. I mean, literally, I think the last 5 years, every person that's left Florida, Chester Kimbrough, perfect example. Never played it down on defense because of Grantham's stupid butt. Goes to Michigan State and balls out. I mean, hell of a DB, hell of a season this year. Chester Kimbrough should have been starting from the get-go of Florida and never saw the field except for a few snaps. My boys at Gators, Gator Nation called that one. Those guys are spot on with their film breakdown. Y'all should check them out. They do really, really good analysis if you like the technical stuff. So he's gone. So yeah, we're hurting there on the trenches and the offensive line with the depth and all that. I do think that's the focus on the defensive side of the ball more this year with this recruiting class, and then just building that depth on the offensive line. So you're going to have some project guys in this class, and that's fine. But to go from 79th all the way up to a top 15 class potentially is incredible. Personally, I think this is the best transition class since ever. I think this is going to be the best transition class in the history of Florida Gators football. I really believe that. That's how good this class is going to be. I'm super excited about Napier. 2023 is going to be where the recruiting really starts and really gets evaluated for us to really see what Napier can do. I have no doubts at this point that Billy Napier, I'm calling it now, is going to land a top 5, top 3 class in the 2023 class. More than 2 5-stars. I have a feeling he's going to land at least 2, if not 3 5-stars in that class. I think he's going to land several top 100 players. And I think next class you see more of an emphasis on the offensive side of the ball, elite talented offensive line, wide receiver, running back. This tells you how bad recruiting was. Greg Knox could not land a running back at a high school. In the 4 years he was there, he landed 1 running back, Naquan Wright. Lingard and Bowman were transfers. Other than that, he couldn't land nothing. Every guy we've had either flipped, decommitted, or said, I like Florida, blah, 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 it's my dream school, but never showed up. The dude could not close on anybody. We lost Jamar Gibbs. Lost all kinds of guys. Lost Jamar Gibbs to Georgia Tech, and now the kid's transferring. Okay, if that tells you anything. Anybody else that had half a brain and could recruit half decent would have landed the kid. Billy Napier's first year, Jabbar Jalouk is our running back coach now out of Louisiana, come with Napier. He just landed at ETN. The kid's a stud. Again, he's a solid running back, and everybody's like, oh, well, his ranking's a little high. It's just because of his brother that plays in Jacksonville, blah, blah, blah. No, the kid's a solid back. The fact that we even landed a 4-star back, no matter who the heck the name is, does not matter. Just shows you this staff can recruit and how bad things were under Mullen and Greg Knox at the running back position. Again, so looking forward, though, outside of recruiting, really excited about spring ball. I hope there's some opportunities for people to come to practice. Hope he opens things up to the public some, lets them people get out there and see things. I'm hoping to get down there myself around spring break in March. I'm going to go check it out, go to the stadium, see if I can meet some of the new players and stuff. Just see things for myself, and then have an update, around that time as well. I'm trying to think if I'm leaving anything else off here. So future-wise, I'm going to do some film breakdown. I'm probably going to do some game breakdown of the next year's games. I know that Utah game is going to be huge. That's where Diabate went. He went to Utah. So that's going to be crazy playing against him on defense in that game. I hate to say it, y'all, but that Utah game, they got to fly all the way from Utah to Gainesville. It's in the swamp. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tight game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I do not think we're going to win that game. I hate to say that as a Gator fan, but I'm realistic. I told you guys that from the get-go. I do think Utah will win that game. That's a tough one for Napier to have that as his first game of the year, first home game, to have to play that team who just barely lost to Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. They are a solid team, and they're young, so they got a lot of guys coming back. But I'm not going to get too much more into games and stuff until later on, the spring, summer. We're just going to go over spring, talk about that. We're going to talk about this recruiting class some more after signing day in February. We're going to go over every single prospect, go through that. We're going to go through all of the coaching hires once they're all made official. I told you guys Napier will have his staff together before the signing day gets here. Hope sooner the better. We need all of them out recruiting each position that they're going to coach. You know, we're just waiting on that offensive line guy, another DB guy, I think. And let's see, another offensive line. Yeah, offensive line. We've already got one. This will be the other offensive line guy. We're waiting on another defensive coordinator and DB guy. So, yeah, when he fills that out, we'll go over those hires. We'll grade each one. We'll grade this recruiting class, grade each player. But yeah, other than that, I'm not going to get into all the names. I can't even keep up with all these names on this staff. There's so many. Like I said, I mean, you know, Joe Blow from Wisconsin, you know, University of the Blind or whatever. I mean, it's crazy. These guys are just coming out of the woodwork that I've never even heard of in my life. Again, some of them look like they work, you know, or starred on The Office TV show. So, you know, I'm an analytical guy. I love analytics. So I think that needed to be a focus that hasn't been there. Nutrition is going to be a big thing, and I think that's super, super, super going to help a lot with these guys gaining weight. You know, we had Coach Savage, weightlifting and nutrition, and I think things were okay. I think these kids are just, you know, crybabies about nutrition, talking about that. We had COVID, okay. It's not their fault that they had to box the meals up. I've seen vlogs from Princely Umamillion on YouTube. Dude, the kids film their buffet lines they go through. They get the hottest, I mean, options out the kazoo. I mean, anything you can think of and dream it up in your mind. You want Southern buffet, you want seafood, you want Asian. They had it. I mean, every kind of snack you could want. These kids are babies, man. I mean, they were getting fed, and they worked out hard. It wasn't on Savage. The team just quit. These guys didn't put the effort in, and they quit. Mark Hawk, his staff, the biggest change I see from the strength and conditioning aspect is the fact that these guys are going to have a complete staff, like several nutritionists, 3 different weight coaches. It's going to make a huge difference, y'all. So y'all are going to see a massive change in these guys' bodies, these guys' strength and stamina, probably a little faster. So anyways, hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see y'all next time.